Angie Horkins here from the Beef Council. I'm excited about this. I'm really ready for some hearty beef stew. I just am.
This is, and it makes a large batch.
I like that too. It'd be perfect for the game or if you're having people over. So, Cowboy Stew.
Very simple.
What makes it cowboy?
I don't know. Beans? Maybe
like
beans. You know, cowboys eat a lot of beans.
Sure, yeah.
Like beans. I don't know.
Who knows?
I didn't name it.
That's all right. But so it starts with one of these big bags of 15 bean soup mix.
Yes.
Okay.
And then these you soak overnight.
Okay.
Or it does have a rapid. You could boil it for, I think you can boil them an hour, hour and a half. But I soak these overnight.
With you just cover them with water, let them sit all night, and that just softens up.
Okay. They soften up.
And now, does it come with a packet in there?
It comes with a packet. So we're going to use that packet on our beef.
Okay.
So we're going to season up our beef with the.
So once again, we've got some stewed meat. About how much?
2 pounds.
2 pounds.
So this was just 2 pounds of stew meat right from the supermarket.
Okay.
Already chunked up for me.
Okay. Or you can take a roast, a chuck roast or a round roast, and chunk it up yourself. And like we did with that earlier beef, the ancho stew, preheat that pan. Olive oil goes in, and we brown it in batches.
Yes, brown it in batches.
Okay.
Take your time. This is a very important step for a good beef stew.
For developing depth of flavor, it absolutely is. So don't overcrowd the pan. I preheated that burner so that it was nice and hot.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, it does.
And take your time. Do it in a couple batches. Don't crowd it. 2 to 3 batches. Do a first batch, pull it off. Put in a second batch.
Okay, so that's looking good.
That looks good.
So again, a couple minutes on each side.
We'll let that simmer. Then while you're doing that, I mean, this recipe is super simple.
Does it take salt or pepper or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of kosher salt.
Okay. And then I just want to give it a minute. I know you've got lots of great soup and stew recipes on Beef Council website.
Yes.
Where can you get more recipes like this?
Beeftips.com is our website, and if you click on the recipes tab right on our top bar, you'll have a fly down. It'll say recipe search, and then you can go meal idea, and then under meal idea is soup, stews, and chilies.
Okay,
and
great.
I bet we have 15 different chili recipes just using the ground beef and stew meat and ground chuck, and chili would be perfect this weekend for the big Packer game on Sunday.
And it's fun to switch things up and do some different, you know, if you make the same old chili, to do a couple of different ones. I think a great way to entertain is do a chili party, or soup
like
party,
or bar.
Soup,
have everybody bring a soup.
Yeah, or stew, and you know, and then everybody can help themselves. It's a cheap way to entertain. You get some great flavor. So at home, you want to really get some color on that. But we're going to speed it along here.
2 cans of diced tomatoes. I bought some petite diced, and they have a little bit of onion with them.
Okay, which is nice. Nice little shortcut.
A little more flavor.
Yep.
And then your beans.
Okay, all those beans go in there.
All those beans go in there. And they'll cook down nice. And then 1 can of beef broth.
What I like too is there's all sorts of different textures with these beans. You know, I think that's really kind of fun. Some color, some nice color. So just 1
can of beef broth.
Okay.
2 cans of tomatoes, 1 can of beef broth for beans, and that is it. This simmers a little bit longer. You're going to want to bring this up to a boil, stir it, turn it down, a nice low bubble for 2 1/4 hours.
Okay, so that those beans really get nice and
tender.
tender.
Those beans really get nice and tender, and then your beef gets tender, and then you're about done. So then you add, and this recipe is optional, but I think this sounds really good. It's 3 cups of a southern-style diced potato, just your frozen hash brown potatoes.
So we dump those in?
Dump those in right at the end, and then just simmer it 5 minutes just to get those warmed up and cooked through a little bit.
Yum. Oh my gosh, Ange. And I really like
really good.
the idea of using frozen hash brown potatoes in my soups and stews, because you don't have to peel them. Like, you keep them in your, you know, just a really great shortcut. This looks hearty, and man, this is like not only the Cowboys would like this, I'm a cowgirl today, and I'm all over it.
And a lot of soups, and I think these 2 recipes we did today, they'll be make them a day ahead or 2 days ahead, or make them on a Sunday afternoon, pop them in the fridge, and it's perfect for a Monday night, Tuesday night. Just warm it back up half hour, and you can warm these back up, and they taste a little better. The flavors meld and they thicken up.
That's so funny that you say that, because with soups and stews and chilies, I think sometimes they're great the first day, but it's the second or the third day down the road where they really taste great. And this one too, the ingredients we put in it: beans, beef, and some tomato. I mean, it's very healthy.
Very healthy and economical.
Yeah,
we didn't spend a lot of money on ingredients.
Are those bags of beans very reasonable?
Yes,
I haven't used one of those before.
I usually buy them when I have a leftover ham bone.
Yeah.
Do a nice ham soup in the slow cooker, but yeah, very reasonable. And boy, you can feed a lot of people with this recipe.
And we didn't do much dicing or chopping or anything like that, so lots of shortcuts. I'm all about that.
Opened a couple cans.
Yeah, and then got a little parsley maybe to throw on top.
That's a great idea.
Yum. So all the soup and stew recipes that we did today, you can find on our website, fox11online.com. Click on the Living tab, and they'll be right there, from that ancho beef stew we made earlier to Angie's Cowboy Stew to the mushroom barley soup and that delicious acorn squash soup, too. Always great to see you, Angie.
You too.
Thanks so much for coming. Can't wait to make both these at home. We'll be back. Stay with us.